Tamika. So, if I am understanding this correctly, his billing cycle closes on the 13th, and he has by law 21 days until his due date. So, if he didn't make the payment by the due date and an additional 30 days pass, then yes, that delinquency will end up on his credit report as a 30-day late. So, I'm thinking that the alert you're saying he received was from his credit monitoring company and not from Capital One. If it came from his credit monitoring company, that means that it's already hit the report. You're going to see the drop in his credit scores. The good thing is that a 30-day late, that's like a one-time thing, is not going to harm his scores on the newer credit scoring models as much as it would have on some of the older credit scoring models. So this is going to allow him to overcome that 30-day late by continuously making on-time payments from this point moving forward. Now, you asked if he should do a pay to delete. Absolutely not. One of the reasons why is because this is still an open account, and he wants to show that he will not get another late payment in the future. And the only way you can do that is by showing and having reporting ongoing, timely, on-time payments, right? So that's one thing. Number two, how can you move forward from here? I am a big fan of goodwill letters. You can try and see if you can get this reversed. With Capital One, it's extremely difficult unless you can prove something was done in error on their part. My experience, I was able to get a late payment off of Capital One removed because I had signed up for text alerts, phone call, like I opted into everything, email, and I had more than one automated payment option. It was the very last payment that was due on the account, and they didn't, I guess they said, well, since it was the last payment, they couldn't use the automated payment option, but they also never communicated anything with me. I didn't get a phone call. I didn't get a text. I didn't even get an email. And so then I'm thinking everything is gravy. I saw a zero balance when I logged into everything. And all of a sudden I'm getting a 30-day late. So obviously when I submitted a goodwill letter, it was removed. Now, I did not just send the letter to one of the corporate execs through Capital One. I actually sent it to them in addition to sending it through the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, because I just backed my goodwill letter up even more. It made it beefier, made it better, right? In your case, you mentioned that he got an alert, an email rather, and he didn't check it. And so Capital One did its job by communicating that he was late before it became a late payment. Because remember, you got 21 days from the 13th to the due date. Then you got another 30 days before it ends up on your credit report. So that means a minimum of 51 days had gone by, and they did their part by making him aware via email that this account was late. So at this juncture, he can get on the phone. He can plead his case stating that, he's been with them for 2 years. He has no prior delinquencies, perfect payment history, give some type of reason why this happened, what he can do moving forward, and see if that will work. Now, I mentioned Capital One is tough. It can be done, but it's tough. Now, what if this is not removed? What happens now? Do not sacrifice the entire account for one late payment. It's just not worth it. So what do we do from here? Number one, we need to set up some type of budgeting system, put that in place so that this does not happen again. If he wants to come onto a hot seat on one of our Q&As, yes, I will put him in the hot seat. When we do one of our Prosperity Partners Q&As, definitely let me know. We can set that up on our next call. And what I would like for him to do is sign up for those alerts, the text messages, and then he needs to set a date on the month, once a month or twice a month, actually, depending on how he pays the bills. And if he doesn't have a system for paying bills, create one, and then choose at least one day a month where he goes through and makes sure that everything is paid. He can't just assume something is done or rely on himself to remember to pay something, especially if he is not checking his emails. So if he doesn't check his emails regularly, he needs to opt in for phone calls and text messages. Now, I am a big fan of having a separate email address just for my bills. And I teach this inside of Boss Up Your Budget. And for those of you in Credit on Fire, you already got it. So I like to have a separate bill account that's just like my own home accounting department. So everything financial related goes into that email. I don't have to worry about any sales. I don't have to worry about junk mail. I don't have to worry about anything. It is solely focused on my finances. And I check this once a week. So if he needs to do that, so he can make sure that there's no important financial information that's going to be missed and that's going to set him back, because being that he's young in the 700s, that is exceptional. But now because of habits, or pretty much just doesn't have a system in place. So because of that lack of system in place, it kind of set him back a little bit. Let this be his learning lesson to move forward with a system in place. And that may require some assistance. So like I said, if he wants to sign up for a hot seat, definitely let me know. So just to summarize, number one, you can do the goodwill letter. If you want, you can send it through the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is a CFPB, to see if that can get it into the hands of a corporate exec quicker, faster, better. You can get an address for whom to send it to directly. The best places are the Better Business Bureau and LinkedIn. And then just setting up better payment system, budgeting system in place so he can make sure that nothing is missed. I gave suggestions of ensuring that, number one, he has a budget. Number two, he might want to set up some automated payments. Okay. Number three, if he's going to do automated payments, he may want to have a separate bill paying account. And number four, he wants to have an email totally 100% dedicated to his finances so that nothing is missed, and have a date that he goes through and make sure that everything is on point. So he needs to date his budget, date his money, because I'm sure if he did the good deed of getting to the 700s, he has some financial goals, some life goals in place, and he wants to make sure that his credit and his money is at a point where it's supporting him in getting there. So hopefully this was what he needed and what you need in order to hear. If you have any further questions, definitely let me know. If you Prosperity Partners have any questions on anything, definitely let me know so we can ensure both your money and your credit is on point so you can go to get to crushing those financial goals of yours. See you in the next video.